Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel ServiceNow with Aishwarya, your ultimate destination for everything. I'm Aishwarya, and today we are diving into some seriously cool scripting that's going to make managing attachments in ServiceNow a breeze. If you have ever found yourself dealing with messy attachments or wishing you could automate the process, you are in a good track. Imagine this. You have got a data source into your ServiceNow instance and it's cluttered with old attachments. Maybe it's time to delete those outdated files, or perhaps you need to pull an attachment from email record and link to your data source. Well, how you can just achieve this? I'm going to show you how you can do this in a few lines of codes. It's going to be very simple, powerful, and super efficient. Now, let me just first navigate you to an email record which is going to have an attachment. Just in the filter navigator, search with the name like sys underscore email dot list. It's a shortcut, like if you would like to open the email data. I'll just open a first initial record which is going to have an attachment. Okay, it has an Excel report, for example, Excel attachment. Now let me go to her data source. In the filter navigator, search with data source. Under system imports, we find data source. Just open that in a new tab. So I'll try to create a new data source for a demo purpose. Just give the name of your choice. And this name will be auto-populated based upon the label you have given. I'll just select this as an Excel. Currently, this doesn't have anything to do with, because we are just going to do like how you can just implement a script to copy this attachment from email to this newly created data source. And if, for example, if any existing data attachments are present in the data source, we need to delete them. Currently, we don't have, but we are going to do a second step of how you can attach. I'll just save this. Done. Now, in brief, how you could just imagine is like you would like to pull this attachment, like an incident attachment, from an email record to this newly created data source. Okay. Now, let me go to the filter navigator, search for a background script. Under system definition, you find scripts background. Just open this in a new tab. Here, you can just make writing your own script. So, let us first declare a variable just to store the sys of a data source that you are currently having. Now I just declare a variable like data source ID equal to this quotes. In that I need to just write the sys of this newly created data source. Right click, copy sys just to copy the sys just paste it here. Always remember you should end each line with a semicolon. Later on I'll try to do a glide query on a sys attachment table. For that, initially try to declare a variable like var, give the name of your choice. I just choose the gr, glide record, and I'll just write the glide record in sys attachment table. Whenever the table is selected, it's going to be like a italic. That table is, you have just, it is present. Like later on I'll try to add query. Initially I'll just write the table name, which table you should select, and separated by a comma, and I need to mention data source and with a semicolon. Don't worry, I'll just explain the complete script at last. Let me first try developing this, and later I need to declare the sys of the table. Now initially I have just declared the sys here, right? Uh, Here like where data source id is equal to this one. I need not redeclare this here. Instead I'm going to use this variable itself, data source id. and with a semicolon. And later on, try to do a query. And now I'm going to delete if any old attachments are there on that particular data source. And single line script can directly use to copy. GlideSysAttachment.copy. The format is going to be, first you have to declare the backend name of the email, sys underscore email. Give the sys ID of the email required where the attachment is there. This is the email record which contains the attachment. I'll just right click, copy the sys ID, go to my background script and paste it. And later on again I need to just declare the table name like sys data source and comma, and you need to give the sys ID of the data source. Already I have declared that in a variable. I'll try to directly use this data source ID. That's it. Okay, now we can just make a test run. But before me executing it, let me first explain you what I have done exactly. In the initial first line, I just defined the sys ID of the data source for which we will manage the attachments. Okay. Later on in the third line, I just initialized the glide record object to query the sys attachment table, which stores all the attachments. Later on, I tried to add a query to filter the attachments by the table name, specifically this sys data source. In the fifth line, if you just come, again I tried to add a query to filter attachment by the sys ID of the data source. So we only delete the attachments of that particular specific data source. Okay. And why I haven't used this sysID again is that already I have declared the variable, so no need of multiply using this every time. So I just made use of this data source ID. Later on, I tried to execute the query to fetch the attachments that match the specified criteria. Later on, I'm trying to delete if the old attachments or any existing attachments are present on the data source. Currently, we don't have any attachments on this demo test. So if, for example, if they were there, they will be deleted on a first line itself. Okay, the next in the 10th line, if you could just say, I'm just using GlideSysAttachment.copy method to copy the attachment from an email record. So first parameter is going to be like a sys underscore email is a source table. Later on, I declared the email sys ID where the attachment is there. In the third parameter, I'm trying to use this target table. Our target table is nothing but the sys data source. And finally, in the fourth one, I'm trying to directly use this variable declare like a data source ID. Okay. I hope you understood. If you have any doubts, you can please comment below. I'll try to run. Yes, you are able to see that it is successful and you can see it is attachment got attached or inserted on this particular data source. I'll just go here. I'll try to refresh. Yes, you can see that the attachment got attached successfully. That's how you can just achieve it. And with this, I hope you have understood how you can just implement the script very simply using this single line of code. With the scripting tricks, you will now not only keep things tidy but also automate the whole process. Now, how awesome is that? I hope this gave you some valuable insights into managing attachments like a pro. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to smash the like button, drop a comment with your thoughts or questions, and hit subscribe for more ServiceNow tips and tricks. I would like to hear from you. Drop your questions in the comments, and I'll be there to help you. Let's keep learning and coding together. Thank you, team.